Welcome to the Vault Short. On this episode, we are going to be diving into Big Sky Economic Development's Space to Place micro grant program. Joining us today to tell us all about it is community development expert Thom MacLean.
The following is a Big Sky Economic Development production.
It's Mars B.
And Kavo.
And this is The Vault at 201 North Broadway.
A business podcast.
Where we bring you entrepreneurs, small business owners, and community leaders of Montana.
To share their stories, expertise, industry insights, and strategies.
And we are sharing them all with you every single week.
You don't want to miss this.
Learn how to better start, manage, and grow your business.
And your leadership style.
Tangible takeaways to save you time and improve whatever it is that you're working on.
You're listening to The Vault.
Thank you to Big Sky Economic Development for supporting The Vault at 201 North Broadway. Big Sky Economic Development provides leadership and resources for business creation, expansion, retention, new business recruitment, and community development. If you are starting a business, growing or expanding your business, diversifying your customer base, or maybe you're looking for business trainings to attend to continue to learn and grow, they're excited and here to help. Even if you're thinking of relocating your company into Billings, they're a resource for you. BSED also provides resources for community development initiatives by planning, partnering, and managing projects and administering grants for redevelopment and placemaking. Their workforce development program brings together industry and education partners to anticipate and respond to community workforce needs. And they provide talent attraction and retention resources for your business to use under the community brand Better Off in Billings. BSED's Rock 31 program is focused on helping startups thrive. And in their location in downtown Billings, they have 2 floors dedicated to co-working and additional spaces throughout their building open to the community to host their meetings, events, and trainings. Visit bigskyeconomicdevelopment.org. Again, that's bigskyeconomicdevelopment.org, or follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn. Welcome, Thom.
Expert. Wow, I've been upgraded.
You have been.
You're a community development expert, which you are.
We think a lot of you.
Well,
We
thank
do.
you.
We're really excited to have you here to tell us all about this program that you helped start, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I was there at the beginning.
See.
I don't know if I started it. It was other people too.
But you were there at the
I
beginning.
was there at the beginning, yeah.
So what was the beginning like? So we talk about space to place. Billings
All the
people
time. Beautifying
are probably
our
really
spaces.
familiar with the tagline, but just walk us through what is it?
Well, what's the history?
The history, the concept is basically that we wanted to have a program where we could help fund small projects that would make Billings incrementally better. So, in the past we funded small parks, we funded murals, we funded seating areas. So just little things that we can help our community do on their own to make their part of Billings and Yellowstone County a little bit better.
So
I love them.
when Big Sky started it, just curious, what was that? So you guys saw a need that had not been met in the community, right? Is what really spurred this, like, we want to do this, so this is what this, and coming up with the name. Where'd you guys get the name?
Well, the name is basically what we're trying to do is transform spaces into places. So space to place just kind of morphed from that. A space is empty, it's a void, and there's nothing there, it's ugly, it's not engaging. Places are destinations, and so that's basically where the name came from, and that's what the whole purpose of the program is to transform spaces into places.
So when you guys first launched that, what did that process look like? And how much money did you allocate for these projects?
Well, at the beginning, we had $8,000 total for the projects, and we had it started off small. We had 6 applications for that initial year, and we funded all 6 of them to varying degrees. I mean, everybody asks for a certain amount. Sometimes we can't give that amount, and that's one of our concerns is if we can't give the full amount, is it still going to be able to help make that project come to fruition. So we were able to fund all 6 of them the first year, And then after that, we got a bigger budget, and we've funded probably 6 to 8 projects each year since then. And again, sometimes it's not for the full amount that's asked, but usually it's enough to get a project done.
Do you remember what were some of those first projects that are still?
In the first year, we helped the depot with a pocket park. We helped them plant some trees over there on the park just to the east of the depot. And another one was Brooke Moore. She had a really cool concept that we really liked called fractionated light. It's on the building right next to, just to the north of the Burger Dive.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And the whole concept was that it was on a white wall, and it would, the sunlight, when it would hit, it would kind of give different patterns and stuff. So those two were the two main ones that we funded that first year. We had some smaller ones where, it was a bigger project, but we had, some money left over, so we gave $500 to each of these other projects. Another one that was the first year, I believe it was the first year, was the DBA had a sculpture under Sky Point. So the one that's right on the corner of our building is one that we funded that first year.
Oh, wow. So cool. There's just so much. I love this program, so I don't want to get ahead of it, but you are really passionate about placemaking because you've done a lot of, that's why we you are a community development expert, but about the importance of investing back into the community and giving people the opportunity to do that, which is what this grant does, is you give people that little bit of money that they need so that they can be the creators in their own community. So I'd love to hear more about that from you.
Yeah, the whole concept is that we're trying to draw on the creativity of our community. I mean, people have all these ideas, but maybe not any way to get started, any way to fund them. So we're trying to provide that. And, some of the things that have come about, the murals on the pub station is one of the earlier projects. And Marcelia, you helped out with that a lot.
We did help out with that.
You spent a lot of time painting.
I came on right at the end.
Yeah. I did, yeah. Outside in the alley until midnight.
I tell everybody that I painted most of that. Because
you should.
I painted the white. And then you put the mural on top of that. So,
but a student designed that.
Yeah,
so we did a competition with DBA, and it's the Greetings from Billings, Montana one on the pub station, because those were really those first mural projects, I think, for this program that people were like, we want to see, and that's what they wanted. And that's what a lot of those applications were, if I'm not mistaken. And a student at the Career Center designed that. So we did a competition. There was a group that picked kind of that best design, and he was part of that whole process as much as he could with his curfew at the time, but be part of the painting and the tracing. And yeah, it's a fun memory.
And he even signed it, right?
He did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the second year. That was 2019. And I called that the year of the murals because we had 4 murals that year. It was that one. And then just right around the corner, the DBA did the one on the backside, on the south side of the pub station that's really cool and has one of their first light bikes that was put up there. And then we did 2 tunnel murals. A pedestrian tunnel up by MSU Billings was done by Terry Porta. And then Monica Hill, who was a parent over by, Arrowhead Elementary. There's a pedestrian tunnel there under Shiloh, and she basically had a project. She asked Tyson Middle to paint that, and he did an awesome job with it, with the, another Welcome to Billings type thing there, and that one really gets it's still there, and it's really, it's gorgeous. I love seeing it every time I go over there.
I like that one a lot too. So we saw a lot of murals come up, which was really, I think, exciting for Billings. It just took some of those areas like you talked about that weren't, like, no one was walking through the alley behind the pub station and behind like that Montana Avenue. No one was walking back there, but now they have it lit up. So even at night, they use SEPTED programming, which, we can talk about that program at a different time. But now some of those have added things with lighting, and so it feels safer. And people go there. It's a destination. I see photos with that as a backdrop. We used it recently, and it's just a really fun to see that within the community.
Yeah, when you talk about placemaking, murals aren't your optimum projects because placemaking is about making places where people can gather. And murals don't normally do that. But in that case with that alley particularly, and, it just makes it more welcoming. The light bike, provides a little bit of a destination type feel. And like you said, people have used them for backdrops on a lot of stuff. And we've had other murals too, and they all add to it. But we don't want to we don't want to give the impression that this is just a mural program, because some of the other things, like when you talk about SEPTED, making places feel safer. I mean, one of my favorite projects that we helped out with was the Julie Seedhouse and Lori Patterson did Lights Over Broadway. And so, initially it was just one block, and then we were able to help and expand that to 2.5 blocks. And that's one of my favorite projects because I live downtown and I walk, that's the route between where I live and where I work. And then especially in the winter when I'm walking home at night, I get to see that, and that's really cool. And the
Did
DBA,
you help with those too?
Yeah.
So you had a hand in it.
And Mayor Cole helped too. He helped funding, and he helped. I mean, Mayor Cole and I were up in a bucket truck putting those things up. It was kind of fun. And then there's some other lighting projects. This past year, the lights on 29th. I mean, it's a little bit different because instead of being over the street, it's over the sidewalks. But the DBA did that, and the DBA also did one a few years back where they put lights over the little kind of pocket park that they have next to the Hedden building off 29th. So
which really cleaned it up, I think, and it's really fun there's just a lot of different.
We went to a barbecue they hosted in the alley there. So that was fun.
It's awesome.
So you keep talking about different projects and they do different things for the community. What would you say are like the fundamental elements of placemaking?
The fundamental elements, basically there are 4. There's access. It needs to be accessible to the public. There's comfort and image. It has to feel comfortable. It has to feel safe. And if it's beautiful, that's even better. It has to be activated. It has to be engaging. It has to be something that people want to be there. There's things to do there. And then the final one is kind of sociability. Is it someplace where people can connect with other people, where people, even if it's just hanging out in the midst of other people. So, those are the 4 main aspects of placemaking. And we tried to, on the application that we have on our portal, we make the questions kind of follow those aspects. I think we have those 4 aspects, and then we have one final one. What's the impact this is going to have on the community? How is this going to help the community? So, and we try to keep that application simple. It's just those. We limit them as far as the space that you're available. We don't want long-winded answers. We want you to be succinct, but just tell us about your project. Tell us how it's going to help the community, and then we'll get together, judge them, and hopefully we can help fund yours.
And one that you reminded me of when you were talking about the third fundamental element was the flowers in front of Wise Wonders Children's Museum. Those are really great because they're metal, but they're interactive because they're a musical instrument. But they're these big metal flowers that stand right in front, that are placed right in front of their entryway. So as people are coming and going, and the kids are coming and going, and parents, they can pick up little mallets and play music on these flowers, which is really, really unique.
Yeah, there's that one. That one's really one that's really activates that space. We also help fund the pump track that's out at, what is that called? Blue Creek Fishing Access. We help fund that. We help fund some low ropes course up by the Oasis. Oh, wow.
It's all across the county. Yellowstone
County. It goes. We funded projects in Warden and Broadview, and in Huntley. Huntley had a little welcome garden that's it's a seating area and flower garden as you enter into their town, and it just really livened up that little vacant lot that they had. Broadview did a seating area outside their community center. We helped fund some of that. That was a really cool one. We really liked that.
And then Warden just did a mural, right?
Warden did a mural. Laurel, we also had some projects in Laurel. The latest one was a couple years ago. We helped fund the little gazebo and seating area they have in their main square downtown.
Oh, nice.
Just little things, but I think that make a really big impact on those areas of the community, which is exciting.
Thom, what's your favorite part of the program? Like when you think back on all the projects that you've worked on, what gives you the biggest feels?
Well, I guess the biggest thing is just that you see all these incremental improvements. I mean, because we've funded 38 projects since the beginning of this program, and probably 34 or 35 of them are still in existence. So you get to see them every day. They make a small change in each of these little areas that they encompass. I remember I used to go through the underpass over on 6th Street all the time, and it was so ugly. And then Alyssa Leininger and Southside Task Force, basically came to us with the idea that they wanted to paint a mural under there. And the mural just changed that so much.
Absolutely.
It makes it so much so much better. It's not just an ugly underpass anymore. It's got art, and we also help fund Alyssa Leininger's mural that's under the other underpass. I think it's 13th Street or something. But
people become very defensive of those murals too, because we just recently had construction and something happened to that 6th Street mural, and people were like up in arms of how dare this happen and how is this getting fixed. And it is crazy to see how people come to go, hey, I really like that beautiful part of my drive, and now something's happened to it.
Yeah, that's one thing with murals is we have a graffiti problem, and we talk about, hey, we want to put a mural up. Everybody's like, well, it's just going to get tagged. But it doesn't. I mean, it's been proven that having art, murals will basically
Deter.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here.
I knew you were there for a second. But anyway, it deters the graffiti, and it's basically, one of my other favorite projects, and I'm surprised I haven't mentioned this yet, is Tyson Middle also did the skate park.
Yeah,
that one's
turned
really
out cool.
good.
And it's kind of worn off now just because,
people
it's a skate park.
On it, yeah.
People. But the thing that was cool about what he did with that mural, it was he did it in the entire bowl of that skate park. He did it in conjunction with the Parks Department, and they helped out with some of the painting too. But he engaged the people who used that facility. He basically said, hey, if he would talk to, knows a lot of the skaters that skate there, and he said, hey, you want to help me paint? And he got a lot of them to basically help him paint, and that gave them some ownership. So it's like, hey, they're the ones who don't want people tagging it. So, it's, I don't know, I think it's been tagged since, and he's corrected some of them, but that's been, I think, 3 or 4 years, and it's really lasted for quite a while.
Yeah, that one's really cool. So as you look at, we're launching the 2024 application cycle, what are some projects you're hoping that you would love to see in the application pool?
A project I would like to see, and I don't know where you'd put it, but I just want a small pocket park, like a grassy area where you can put maybe a mural on a wall next to it, put a seating area, and then string lights over the top. It's kind of like what the DBA's final vision of that
little pocket alley.
Alley that they have is. They have got some more work to do that I think they're planning on that. But I just want a smaller version of that someplace, because that way you have art, you have engagement as far as it's someplace people can gather. It's
Can you go have lunch?
Yeah, lunch.
And it's green space in a downtown.
Yeah, we need green space in our downtown.
That's activated.
Yeah.
That's not fake turf either.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Are there any other ideas that you've been thinking about?
No, and that's one of the things that the community's made it easy on me. I don't have to think about it because they have so many cool ideas that I couldn't even come up with, but they come up with them. And, last year I think we had 26 applicants, and we funded 7 of them. And
that was the most we've ever received, right?
Yeah, that's the most last year. We've gotten close to that before. I think one year before, in 2019 or something, we had 23 or something, but 26 is the most, and it was last year. And there's just so many cool ideas that people have that it's inspiring to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, before we jump into a little bit more of how people can apply and learn more about that application process, we're just going to take a second to hear a word from our sponsor. Thank you to the Small Business Development Center for sponsoring The Vault at 201 North Broadway. The Small Business Development Center offers free personalized support from business plans to financial projections and beyond, empowering small businesses to thrive. Reach out to us at bigsky.economicdevelopment.org. So now that we're back, how can people get involved with the Space to Place program?
Well, the application we have an application portal on our website, bigskyeconomicdevelopment.org. You just go there, click on the community development. We'll probably have a tab on our homepage that will connect you with the application. You can call me if you have any questions. Email me at thom@bigskyeda.org or call me at the office here. We can get you more information if you need. But the application is totally online. It's, like I said, it's space limited. We're not going to let you get long-worded because we don't have time to read all those. But we're really asking for just some basic information: who you are, who your organization is, what you're proposing as your project, where you want to put it. Do you have the permission to put it there? And then we just ask those questions about how does this fit into placemaking and what impact is it going to have? And then, in addition to those answers to those questions, we do allow you to have 3 pages of additional attachments. So there you can attach 3 pages with renderings or photos of what you're thinking of or things like that, or just diagrams, anything that will help kind of explain your project to us.
Now, you mentioned being as an organization or group. Can somebody as an individual apply as well?
Yep. Individuals, organizations, businesses, we don't, there's no limitations there. Our limitation as far as applicants that way is it just has to be a publicly accessible thing. So a business can apply, but it can't be, inside their courtyard, or it can't be not accessible to the public. So, but if you want to, put a small little park or a seating area outside your business or something like that, that's definitely something that we can consider.
And up front to apply, it doesn't cost anyone to apply, which is really great. But so you talked a little bit initially, we allocated about $8,000 for people to receive. So can you talk a little bit about how much these projects range from? I know there's a X amount, just so that it doesn't get too lofty of a project, and it really keeps that turning a space into a place.
The maximum grant award that we will award is $5,000. And we don't always, people will always, a lot of the projects will ask for the full $5,000, and we have so many good applicants that we kind of divvy it up, and we may not give the full ask, but we always kind of confirm with them, hey, you asked for this amount, we're going to give you this amount. Can you still get the project done? And generally the answer is yes. So, $5,000 is the maximum. The maximum total project cost is $10,000. So what we don't want to do is be a small part of a large project. We'd rather be a larger part of a smaller project. So we want these, I'll give an example. Early on, we had an application, and it was a $350,000 project, and they were asking for a grant from us. And like I said, our maximum grant is $5,000. Well, $5,000 doesn't really move the needle on a $350,000 project. So we would rather be a big part of a small project.
Well, I think that keeps in line with the space to place. Like, it's not meant, those big projects are amazing and great, but they're going to get done. It's how do you help other people take their little idea, and maybe it's not a little idea, it's an impactful idea, and really make it into reality within the time frame. And can you talk a little bit too about when it opens, when the applications close, when we review, announce, and the timeline of project completion? Yeah,
and that's a lot of the reasons why we have just these smaller incremental projects is because we do put a time limit on it. The application opens here in January. The applications are due in early March 7th, I believe, at 4 p.m. And then we get together and review them. We'll let the winners know in early April. We'll announce the winners publicly in April 18th at our Better Off in Billings event. And the projects must be completed by September 30th of this year. So it's not something that you can stretch out. You have to, have a project that's doable within that time frame.
Great. And usually they all get them done.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's a lot of them wait to the last minute, but they do get them done.
The procrastination makes people get things done. It's a funny thing.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that people should know about the Space to Place grant?
Nope. Like I said, we've tried to really keep this simple. We just want you to bring us your ideas and describe them to us, and let us see if we can help fund them.
And when the application goes live, we'll be posting it all over Big Sky social media, and the application will be live on the website. You'll find it on the homepage, or if you want to go to the community development page on the site, just filling in some of those marketing things for you. But definitely on the website. And when this episode airs, it'll be up and going.
It'll be live.
It'll be going, yeah.
It'll be live.
I'm excited.
We're excited. It's such a great project. And Thom, it's been so much fun talking to you about this exciting project.
It's always good to see you guys.
Thanks for joining us on The Vault.
Thanks so much.
All right, thanks.
We We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Make sure you are subscribed to The Vault at 201 North Broadway, wherever you podcast, including YouTube.
Connect with us on Facebook at The Vault at 201 North Broadway and Instagram at TheVault_201.
Don't forget to visit us at thevault at 201.com and subscribe to our newsletter.
We will see you next time.
Bye.